Today we are reacting to NFL Reddit and their hottest takes for the 2025 NFL season. All right, it's that time of the year. We're through the NFL draft and rookie drafts are coming along. Let's hear your hot takes for the upcoming season. My hot takes are Amarion Hampton and Henderson finished the season clearly running back 1 and 2 of the class. So Buddy thinks that Ashton Genty is gonna be all bark no bite. I don't see that, bro. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I respect the hot take. And his other hot take is that Travis Hunter flops on offense and looks like a fantasy bust after the season. I don't know if I'm going to draft Travis Hunter in fantasy. Like, not because he's not good, but because is he really going to play enough snaps for me to start him on my team? You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I trust him enough that he's going to get enough snaps to be a starter on my fantasy team. Unless I'm doing like a 20-man league or something like that. By the way, I think I'm going to do a fantasy draft with subscribers this year. So let me know, boys, if you want to see that, if you want to do that. Free buy-in. Obviously, there will be a prize. I'll put up my own money. KW3 only misses one game. I have no idea who 3 is. Who is this? Is this Kyron Williams? Is that who KW3 is? Kyron Williams? Like, who else would that be? That's the only person I think that would be. I genuinely, like, KW3, who is that? Is that a quarterback? I have no idea. 4 rookies from last year are top 8 quarterbacks. That is a great, that's a crazy hot take. I don't know how realistic that will be. I'm assuming my boy Tyler Shuck's got to be one of those 4 because he's going to be starting. Maybe Shador, I guess. Cam Ward's 3. Jackson Dart, I don't think he would start, but I mean, yeah, there's that. There's only 4 that I'm really like considering, but like I'm not even considering. I'm just trying to make sense of what this guy just said. Marvin Harrison Jr. Maserati Marv breaks out for 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. I'm not gonna lie, I was never really high on Marvin Harrison like other people were. I am a bit biased and always thought that Malik Neighbors was just better than Marvin Harrison coming out of college and even in college. So I always thought Malik Neighbors was better. I mean, I still think Marvin Harrison's good. I think a lot of people are underrating him. Like, I really think a lot of people are underrating Marvin Harrison. I could see 1,500 yards. 15 touchdowns might be a little excessive, but I could see 1,500 yards for Marvin Harrison. For me, I think Tyrone Tracy is going to maintain his status as the lead back in New York. I don't think Scatterbo is going to translate to the pros. I could see that, I guess. That makes tons of sense. That's not even, I mean, that's not even really a hot take. I understand that. Dillon Gabriel will be QB1 for the Browns and become a bridge starter in the league and remain valuable for SF leagues. Dillon Gabriel, is he the quarterback 1 over Shador in Cleveland? Justin Fields finishes top 8 in all the Jets' main guys. Okay, so this is more of like a fantasy football hot take. Justin Fields finishes top 8 though, so he thinks that Justin Fields is going to be solid. He thinks Justin Fields is going to be like, I mean, I think Justin Fields could definitely be a good fantasy quarterback. Jared Goff falls off a cliff without Ben Johnson. That I could definitely see that. On the flip side, Caleb Williams is top 7. I could definitely see that. Jacoby Myers top 25 receiver. I mean, he has, who else is in? No one else is really in Las Vegas besides Brock Bowers. Jalen Waddle finishes at the top 10 receiver. Nope, I'm never drafting that man ever again. Not happening. Jalen Waddle, I'm not a hater, but I can't have you on my team, bro, because every time I had you on my team, that's when Tyreek Hill was just going crazy. Travis Hunter is the #1 rookie dynasty wise. And it's not, wait, it's not Travis, it's Stark. Okay, I don't even know who that is. Odunze solidifies himself as the wide receiver 1 for the Bears and justifies his draft capital from last year. Okay, that's a solid hot take. I mean, I don't really know, but hey, I respect a respectable hot take. Drake London takes another step and solidifies himself as a top 5 receiver. Drake London, bro, he had a breakout last year. Him and Michael Penix, bro, that's a real duo. That is a true duo. TJ Hockenson finishes at the top 2 tight end. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's possible. He didn't really do the best last year, although he was coming off an injury, so it makes sense. Breece Hall will be a top 5 running back. That's possible. Dylan Sampson completely erodes Judkins' value by making him a split back by the end of the season. Is Dylan Sampson? He's not in. What team drafted Dylan Sampson? He's not in Cleveland, is he? Because they drafted Judkins and someone else, right? It wasn't Dylan Sampson, was it? Oh, he is on the Cleveland Browns. Oh my God, they did draft Dylan Sampson too. Bro, what were the Browns cooking in this draft? They drafted so many halfbacks. and so many quarterbacks. Hetero McMillan calms the haters and has a top 24 wide receiver season. Travis Hunter disappoints for fantasy, but is a legit two-way player and ends up as a top 36 receiver, also being a top cornerback. I could see that. I mean, definitely Travis Hunter. That's why he was drafted second overall, to be an absolute stud on both sides of the ball. I mean, I don't think his production on offense is going to be as insane, but I think defense is going to be shut down, obviously, but that doesn't really help for fantasy football. And Hetero McMillan, dude, is he and Bryce? Is that duo going to be nasty or what? Him and Bryce, man, I think that duo could be something. I mean, Bryce simply just has to throw it up, and Hetero McMillan should catch it. Caleb shows why he's the first overall pick by finishing in the top 10 and leads Bears to 12 wins. That is a respectable hot take, and honestly, I agree. I'm a Caleb fan. I believe that he is that guy. I mean, they get Ben Johnson. They finally give him a coach, finally give him an offensive coordinator. That should be a fun team to watch, man. I'm actually really excited to watch them play. That should be a very solid team. And if they suck this year, then yeah, that's bad. That's not good. Q3 is a top 3 running back. Okay, so I think that is Kyron Williams. I've never heard someone call him KW3, but that is, I guess that's him. And CJ Stroud is a top 5 quarterback. CJ Stroud, is he still a top 5 quarterback? Is he still a top 5 quarterback? Let me know in the comments below. Trevor Lawrence and Caleb will have career seasons. Well, not very bold. I agree with moist range. Not very bold to say Caleb will, but Trevor Lawrence, that's understandable. I mean, he's got Brian Thomas Jr. in year 2, and he's got Travis Hunter. So he should, if he sucks this year, dude, or is just mid, that's just who he is, bro. That's just who he is. Just like Marvin Harrison Jr., I never thought Trevor Lawrence was really that guy. I never thought he was generational. Always thought he was a little bit overhyped. And, well, common Cazo masterclass. I cooked again. Aishan Butte, wide receiver 1 incoming. Buddy's trolling on Reddit. Okay. He ends up as running back 1 and Marvin Harrison as a top 10 wide receiver. Dude, I don't know if I want to draft Ashton Genty. If it came to it, I don't know, because I drafted Bijan his rookie season, and that would just give me PTSD. That would just give me PTSD if I drafted Ashton in his rookie season in the first round. It just would be. Luther Burden is Ben Johnson's Amon-Ra. I don't really know how to feel about that, because isn't Rome Odunze a slot guy? So unless he got moved to outside, then I don't really know how Luther Burden would be a pretty prominent figure in that offense, but who knows? Nick Nash is a top 3 receiver in this class. Bro, wait, where did he even get drafted? That dude should have won the Biletnikoff over Travis Hunter, but he went to a pretty small school, so it didn't really matter. Oh, he's on the Falcons. Oh god, of course he's on the Falcons. I don't know if he'll be a top 3 receiver in this class, but it is a pretty bold take. He was good last year in college, so. Dak continues his tradition of being on and off and finishes as quarterback 3. Caleb finishes higher than Mahomes. Yeah, that's not even really a hot take. Mahomes has been mid in fantasy, at least. In fantasy. But I mean, that can translate to real life, but it's, at the end of the day, Mahomes is still Mahomes. Another Luther Burden hot take puts up 1,000 yards. I don't know. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's going to happen, buddy. All right, let's go with another Reddit page. What is your NFL hot take? His hot take is Justin Herbert's an extremely overrated quarterback. Tim Tebow could have been a successful quarterback if he had a fair shake, similar to Josh Allen's. Calvin Johnson's the best receiver to ever step foot in the football field. And the 2014-15 Denver Broncos defense is the best in NFL history. Has a couple hot takes here. I mean, I think he is. I'm gonna post my hot take here and say this man is a Broncos fan, because he's got a Tim Tebow hot take here. He's got a Chargers hate take here. He's hating on Tim Tebow, or hating on Justin Herbert, praising Tim Tebow, and then praising the Denver Broncos defense. So I'm just going to make a hot take of my own and say that this guy is, he's a Denver Broncos fan. Emmitt Smith was the most valuable of the triplets, even more valuable than Troy Aikman and Irvin. And Michael Irvin. I mean, I'm not too I'm not unk enough to relate to that. Dan Marino was the best passer of all time. Still not as unk enough to understand that. Although I know who Dan Marino is, but I'm saying I wasn't able to witness that, so I don't really know. Can't really give my take on that. Aaron Hernandez was better than Gronk when he wanted to play football instead of being a mass. Okay. All right, buddy. Is that a hot take or what? I mean, Gronk is one of the best tight ends to ever do it, so I guess that's a hot take. Calvin Johnson is the most physically gifted receiver to ever step foot on the football field, and I agree. That's definitely not a hot take whatsoever. That is valid. Randy Moss is the greatest receiver to ever step foot on the football field. Once again, not a hot take. Brett Favre. Here's a hot take. Brett Favre is an overrated quarterback. He was a gunslinger, but dude was just above average at best. He was Jameis Winston before Jameis. That is a hot take. Pitiful option 108. That's a hot take, sir. Tim Tebow could have been successful in the Greg Roman offense that was developed for Lamar Jackson, but you had to develop your offense around a skill set, and the only way you could do that is if you had Lamar Jackson level talent. So Tim Tebow getting compared to Lamar Jackson. So apparently this thread is just young people indirectly dissing Jerry Rice. Oh, the comment right under that is, I'd die on a hill that Antonio Brown was the best receiver to step foot on a football field. Okay, this is a bad one, man. The Bengals should have drafted Penei Sewell over Jamar Chase. That's such a hot take, and I just don't agree. I just don't agree, man. I just simply don't, man. They made the Super Bowl in Jamar's rookie season. Obviously, they haven't been back since. But, like, bro, Jamar is the best. He just had a triple crown, bro. He just won the triple crown. Like, no, they made the right choice. Like, enough of that. They made the right choice. And a Falcons fan under that said, we should have drafted Sewell over Pitts. And honestly, you could have drafted anybody over Pitts, and it would have been better. I see the actual Brady sucks points have been made. It's a good thing Brady played in reality and not in hypothetical scenarios, because in hypothetical scenarios, he's a very mediocre player. I don't know what that means, but okay. Joe Burrow is the most overrated player in the league right now. Bo Jackson is given credit for what could have happened. Okay, I don't know what that second part is, but Joe Burrow being the most overrated player in the NFL. Are we serious? What about him is overrated? His aura? Like, what could be overrated about Joe Burrow? Because he performs. He performs, bro. I don't get it. Tom Brady made Bill Belichick look like a better coach than he really is. Bill isn't even a top 5 coach of all time. Okay, that's bad. Not gonna lie, that's bad, bro. That's bad. Tim Tebow got signed as a quarterback to 3 different teams. He got more of a shot than most guys. The NFL is extremely boring now compared to even 5 years ago. I'm not gonna lie. I can only attest this because the Saints suck. So the NFL doesn't hit as much as it does for me because my team sucks. So like back when the Saints were OP in 2017 and 2018, yeah, it was a fun time. It was so fun. Now obviously it's a little bit different, but I mean, I don't know. That is a hot take, I'll still say. All right, let's get into it for this video, boys. If you boys want to see more videos like this, let me know. I have a blast making these. They're super fun and simple and easy to record. Now, I just have a good time. Just chopping up, chopping up with the boys, chopping up NFL hot takes, NFL takes, whatever. Just spitting some ball knowledge with the fellas, with the guys, with the boys. That's just some of the best things that will ever happen, right? Just chopping it up, just talking ball, right? Just sharing some ball knowledge. That's what I enjoy. If you boys want to see more of this, let me know. Drop a like. In the meantime, check this video out right here. I got another one over here. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you over there. The worst trades in NFL history in the last 10 years. Check it out.